All right, if you're a developer, you're one of two types. It's very important to know which of those you are because those two types of developers play two very different games, even though they do the exact same thing on the surface, which is code. So let's figure out which one you are so that you can win the game you're in. Let's go. The first type of developer is the purist. The game they're in is just to figure out how to keep coding because that's their main source of motivation. They love coding. It's very rewarding as an end to itself because they can pursue mastery. They can work on their craft. They can learn and evolve. They are the idealized version of what a developer is, who just wants to sit in front of the computer and loves his time there. And the risks of that person is that if she gets really, really good at coding from just coding a lot, and the value of writing code goes down due to the scarcity not being there as much anymore, due to education being more prevalent, due to AI, whatever else comes in the future, if that happens, then their income will lower. Also, they in theory have a lower income ceiling compared to the second type of person, which we'll talk about in a second. So with this person, the thing to focus on is one, shedding the belief that you have to be loyal to an employer, and alongside that, improving and staying sharp in your interview skills. Because the way you would really just lose this game as a purist is if you stuck with someone you didn't value yourself in terms of negotiating or the pay you got, and you just had like subpar pay for your whole life that maybe went down and down and down as the value of coding goes down. Examples of this person might be Linus, the guy who made Linux, DHH, Ruby author, guy from Basecamp, and pretty much any open source guy or girl whose GitHub profile is like just checked up in green boxes, assuming they did that in their free time. That would be a purist. Second type of developer is the utilitarian, who codes as a means to an end. The end could be a product, it could be revenue, it could be usage, it could be having a problem solved. It is also probably freedom. It is financial security. This is most of us, let's be real. The risk of this person is that their coding skills get mediocre. They get to a point where they can have a job and do it, but then they get comfy and they don't get better, they don't evolve, and their skills don't improve that much, and their outputs don't improve that much, which holds them back, especially if they go the entrepreneurial route. So the risk management for this type of person is to have really tight feedback loops. That's one, because say you are coding for something, for a product, money, usage, if you can get it out into the market really quick and see that it needs something else, and to add that something else you need to add more coding skills, then that's going to feel a lot easier than if it takes 6 months to get feedback and then, or over the course of that time, you resist actually learning and getting better. The other thing is to skill stack. So I would just assume that at some point you're going to age out of coding exclusively as a developer. It's a young man's game after all, and to either go the entrepreneurial route or just to shift careers or go to management, it's important to add another skill on top of just coding. So that could be people, if you're staying in a corporate lifestyle, or if you're going entrepreneurial, probably marketing or sales, just to help you continue to evolve. So these people would be Gates, Jobs, Musk, Zuckerberg, maybe Peter levels, could be either one, but they're all people who started out coding and then right now they're doing something else. They're not spending all their free time on GitHub writing code anymore. So which one are you? Let me know. Okay, let's play out the career game as a software developer. Purist. This starts out really, really well because if they can code full time, they're happy. And if they can code in their free time, they're happy too. So they're happy to start out at least. And they're getting decent money to start, and that'll jump up considerably once they hit that junior, senior level. If they get equity in a good company, that'll jump up too in the long term. If their company has levels beyond just like senior, it's a big company and there's a lot of room to improve. If they're into being maybe even an engineering manager or an architect, evolving into still a technical role where you are coding, but less so as an individual contributor. All good things for income. Up to a certain point, you're not going to make $5 million a year doing any of these things, maybe as a CTO, but then I wouldn't call you a developer. But you're going to make enough money to support you and a family and have some good lifestyle. So money's good, joy is good, skill level is good too, because you're constantly learning because you enjoy it. So on paper, this all looks good. However, there is a risk here, because if you get to that mid-senior, early senior level and you get too comfy, or you get too nice, or you get brainwashed, and you think that you can't do any better, you don't value yourself, you maybe forget your interviewing skills and are reluctant to go out and shop around in the marketplace, you're just so loyal to a company, then your income could level out at a lower level than it needs to. You could also be really exposed to a layoff, say because the value of developers goes down, and then I could see a big drop then, but between that time and when you get your next job. But all things considering, this is a pretty good setup. Sometimes I wish I were a purist, because it's very simple. Just code, get good at it, and interview too. Stay sharp there. Let's look at the other side, where most of us are, I would imagine, the game we're actually playing, and go from there. Second path, utilitarians out there, it's more complicated. Sorry. Your joy is not going to be at its peak to start, unlike the purist. The money is going to be pretty good, same as before, with junior, mid-level jumps, maybe even to senior level, even though I think those jumps might be a little more delayed than the purist, just because you won't be getting better quite as quick. The skills early on will be a gradual increase, but not at such a high velocity. Then mid-level is when it gets interesting. This is the important part for the utilitarian, because this is when they realize that they don't want to be a coder for the rest of their life, ideally, and they have to make a decision. Am I okay with that? Am I not okay with that? If you make peace with that, okay, just get good enough to hold down a job, do your thing, politic if you need to, schmooze, whatever. Just hold down the job, get good enough, make your money, and then spend the rest of your time doing what does give you joy. Okay, if that's not an option for you and you do want to do something else, that's when that person has to add more skills that are going to get them to the next level, because it's not just development anymore. Is it marketing? Is it sales? Is it copywriting? Is it ads? Is it content? I don't know, but it's something that they need to add on top of what they're doing with code to get to that next level. When they take that step, I think the money drops off significantly, because they need to trade time to improve those skills, get out into the real world, and launch a product or do an audition or whatever else that their real purpose is driving them towards. Then I think, let's assume they make it, their money will still stay at that lower level for a bit, and then they make it and it goes up considerably, assuming they do something where they have more ownership, more equity, more upside than what the purist has, because they are kind of stuck at whatever level that the top earner could make at this company. The utilitarian has the option of ownership there, which means if they own something that's really valuable, it can go up a lot. Their joy, I think, will correlate with how well it goes initially. So it'll go down once they get mid-level and have that realization, and it'll go down because they suck for the first couple of years. But then once they make it, it'll go up a lot. So same thing with their skills, and money. It's all driving to this point of, one, a decision, and then two, like the execution of that after a period of struggling. This is me. Is this you? I don't know. Let me know in the comments, and let me know what I missed. Bye.